Robert Stanford Tuck, British flying legend by war machiner. Robert Stanford Tuck shot down 29 enemy aircraft, survived a crash into the English Channel, and later escaped from a German prison camp. What makes him unusual is not the number of victories, but the fact that he spent almost the entire Battle of Britain trying not to shoot anyone down. In August 1940, Tuck was a squadron leader with a reputation for aggressive flying, and a quiet fear that aggressive was exactly the wrong approach. He had noticed that most of his young pilots were opening fire at 400 yards, missing, and then running out of ammunition with a full fuel tank. So he did something his instructors never taught him: he ordered his squadron to hold fire until they could see the German pilot's helmet. Tuck joined the RAF at 19, not from patriotism but because he failed the entrance exam for the Merchant Navy and needed a job. By 1939, he had developed two habits that defined his career: he practiced deflection shooting obsessively, and he refused to believe that any order from the ground was smarter than what he could see from the cockpit. The first week of the war, he shot down a German Dornier bomber, then spent 20 minutes circling the wreckage in the channel, watching the crew climb onto a life raft, doing nothing. He never explained why. But those who flew with him said Tuck treated aerial combat as a job, not a crusade, and that distinction kept him alive. During the Battle of Britain, his squadron was based at RAF Hornchurch, the easternmost airfield defending London. Every patrol meant climbing through flak and into a sky already swarming with Messerschmitts. Tuck's rule, hold fire to 200 yards, meant his pilots often came home with no ammunition and no kills. It also meant they came home. The RAF officially taught pilots to open fire at 350 yards. Tuck understood that the .303 caliber round lost too much velocity past 200 yards. Anything beyond that was just noise. His friendship with Douglas Bader became the stuff of legend, but the difference between them mattered more. Bader flew on instinct and fury. Tuck flew on arithmetic and angles. On September 11, 1940, Tuck proved his method. He spotted a Bf-109 at 400 yards, held position for 7 seconds, an eternity in a dogfight, close to 150 yards, fired a 2-second burst, and watched the German pilot bail out. He was shot down 4 times, each time walking away. His only serious injury came from a crash landing caused by friendly anti-aircraft fire. By late 1941, Tuck had become one of the RAF's most decorated pilots, and one of its most exhausted. The RAF rotated him to a training command, against his protests. In early 1942, while leading a fighter sweep over France, his Mustang took a direct hit from flak. He crash-landed near Boulogne and was captured within the hour. Stalag Luft 3 held him for the next 3 years. He did not lead the Great Escape, he was too senior and too recognizable, but he built the sand dispersal bags that made the tunnel possible. The camp commandant once offered Tuck a transfer to a more comfortable prison in exchange for a promise not to escape. Tuck declined. He said he would rather dig. After the war, Stanford Tuck left the RAF and became a farmer. He never wrote a memoir, rarely gave interviews, and refused every offer to appear in films. When younger pilots asked him for advice, he gave the same answer: learn your deflection, hold your fire, and come home. The difference between a good pilot and a dead pilot was rarely courage. It was knowing exactly what your machine could do, and exactly what it could not. Subscribe to War Machiner and share this if you value history that goes deeper. At the height of the Battle of Britain, Tuck's squadron patrolled the sprawling skies above London, their aircraft weaving through clouds of smoke and enemy fire. With each mission, he reminded his pilots of the stakes, urging them to remain calm and focused. Remember, lads, he would say, it's not about the score, it's about returning home intact. The importance of survival over sensationalism became their guiding principle, allowing them to navigate perilous situations with a steady hand. Amid the chaos, Tuck's voice served as an anchor, solidifying the resolve of those around him as they fought to defend their homeland. As the squadron took off for another reconnaissance mission, Tuck could feel the tension in the air, thick and palpable. Each pilot, a mix of eagerness and anxiety, trusted his strategy despite the pressure mounting against them. Stay sharp and stay together, he instructed, his voice steady over the intercom, echoing the clarity of purpose that defined their collective effort. Tuck adjusted his goggles, gazing ahead at the swirling clouds that obscured their paths, pondering the thin line they walked between duty and survival. As they climbed higher through the haze, the unmistakable roar of enemy engines echoed in the distance, a reminder of the threat lurking just beyond their reach. Eyes peeled, lads, he cautioned, his instinct sharp, ready to react. The mission was not just a test of skill, It was a measure of their unity and resolve, a testament to the bonds forged amidst the chaos of war, each pilot relying on the other as they ventured deeper into the heart of danger. Tuck's heart raced as they neared the target zone, the anticipation settling heavily in the pit of his stomach. Suddenly, a shout crackled over the radio, interrupting the heavy silence: "Contact at 11 o'clock." Immediately, he felt the shift in energy among his men, an electric surge of fear and adrenaline. "Hold steady, remember the plan," he urged, his voice calm but firm, maintaining the focus they needed. As they maneuvered to engage, he reminded himself that every decision mattered, that each moment counted towards their collective safety. The squadron formed a tight formation, embodying their shared commitment to survive and protect. As they neared the enemy formation, the aircraft sliced through the air like a knife through butter, tension mounting with each passing second. "Now, lads," Tuck called over the intercom, 200 yards, just like we practiced, don't let emotion cloud your judgment." He watched intently as the silhouettes of enemy planes became clearer, his heart steadying in lockstep with the precision of their formation. The obstacles of fear began to dissipate, replaced by a collective focus that guided them forward, willing them to trust in their training and each other. "Remember your deflection," he reiterated, maintaining the tempo in a quelling tone, knowing that this moment would test the strength of their resolve and the efficacy of his teachings.